The crash of a again constructed dam in Laos has shone a searchlight on a world building boomers. Thousands of hydropower dams are each plan or by building, through southward East Asia, southward America, the Balkans, and Africa. Laos has united the building racing, in vanity to be the cell of southward East Asia. Power-hungry countries are needing inexpensive and pure power, says Julian Kircher, an investigator at the College of Utrecht. The against dam motion is now fighting in and production how was provisionally spelled off by several, but is now manufacturing a return. Critics spot to the intrinsic dangers of house-to-lot dams, too quick and out of adequate review for the ensuing consequences. In hydropower dams at the cardiac of debates on power and the environmental, Fact Verify looks at which's over the we're building race. The power manufactured by hydropower dams is introduced as the tool to get human beings out of poverty reduction, says Suzanne Schmeier, a elder lecturer at the IHE Delft Institution for Water Supply Formation. Human beings requirement the power. We do requirement stable hydropower. The issue is, who decides how he's made? Hydropower is the planet's greatest resource of revolving power. The dams keep inland water supply that, while liberated, powers gas turbines and generators to build power. More than rather than 3,500 hydropower dams are creature plan or constructed about the planet, onto a database kept by Christian Zarflo, or other, at the College of Tübingen. The could dual by 2030. Largest of these dams are at the planner phase, and the information doesn't involve dams mainly intended for water supply delivery, flooding preventive, navigate and leisure, so the full quantity of dams creature constructed could be lot high. Brazil leads the way in regulation of the quantity of new dams. China is yet anticipated to make the largest power with hydropower. The inland basins in the largest dams are La Plata, cover components of Argentina, southward East Bolivia, southern Brazil, Paraguay and a big portion of Uruguay, the Ganges-Brahmaputra, mostly India but as well China, Nepal, Bangladesh and Bhutan, and the Amazon, Bolivia, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, Guyana, Peru and Venezuela. On to MS Zarflo's newest unedited information, with 2015 nearly 100 new dams been offered in Africa, invisible increases in Angola, Burundi, DRC and Mozambique. And more than rather than 130 been added in Southward America, particularly Peru, Brazil and Ecuador. On the Mekong inland, 5 dams been finished, 2 are by building and 10 are creature plan, on to world rivers. By 2020, Laos wants 100 operative hydropower seedling. 3 of the greatest dams always constructed are close complete in the Amazon. Before the 1990s, the planet banking was hard implicated in support dam building projects. Yet, social blood pressure and installation controversies nearby several top section we're building projects led to growing concerns. In 1993, it withdrew financing of a much $1 million draft on the Narmada Inland in India. A paper by the Planet Committee on Dams in 2000, authorized by the Planet Banking, allocated the public and ecological harm how was creature inflicted by big dams. Among 40 millionth and 80 millionth human beings world been moved by dams, told the paper. Several trust how drawing could be lot high if you get in expense the effects for instant movement, such as accessing to earth for farming and fishery. The divide time noted a change in the way hydropower projects were planned and advanced, in more attention on struck communities, says Will Henley, a representative for the World Hydropower Associate, IHA. The IHA now publishes stability guidance for hydropower projects. In the Planet Banking laid-off of the segment, China has imbued the gap and now dominates the production. With the rotate of the age, China has taken into account for above part of world hydropower increase, on to the IHA. It has power to make 2 times as lot as the US. And China not just became the greatest manufacturer, it as well begun take its industry overseas. China building companies and financiers were emboldened to go world as portion of the by the governments try to do more than industry across the sea. The is why lot expert trust how China companies now monitoring at low part of the hydropower we're building marketplace world. China players were seen as a great replace to planet banking financing since they did not ask as lot questions on resettling communities or biodiversity conservation as the planet banking, Mr. Kircher says. If down there are 2 lot dams depends on how they are constructed and the extent of advice in regional communities. A really stable building conducted period. It is necessary to include assessments in location how get in expense some dams on the inland, says Christian Zarflo at the College of Tübingen and Company author of the dams database. How's a dam really rapidly can conduct to mistakes. As building projects increase about the planet, campaigners go on to allocate the adverse effect of dams on regional populations and the nearby ecological system. A 2012 examination found how more than rather than 70% of human beings who had been resettled told they had be poor. Dams diminished minnow populations in the Mekong inland pelvis relied on by human beings for meal, on to else research. Yet, the considerable benefits of hydropower are precise. These dams make lot needed power and down there are agriculture benefits as so. And the renovated concern of the planet banking in support dam building, in participation in 2 latter projects in Laos, is a precise sign of increasing world supporting for so managed hydropower, particularly in the background of the environment changing discussion, says Ms. Schmeyer.